Yeah, I think I'm getting pretty close to the bottom of the barrel of my vacation pictures, so this will in fact be the last video. In this third video, we'll finish up my pictures from Olympic National Park and end with a brief one-day stay in Victoria, British Columbia. My family and I had just driven over to the Crescent Lake area of Olympic National Park after visiting Hurricane Ridge and enjoying a lot of mountain views. In addition to the mountain views of Olympic National Park, there's also some temperate rainforest, and we were attracted to the Hoh rainforest, which is on the Pacific side of the Olympic Peninsula. During this time, the state of Washington was going through a very dry period, and indeed the Hoh rainforest didn't have any rain at all in it either. It was very sunny and dry. Well, at the end of one of our days at Lake Crescent Lodge, we were in the dining room, and I spied two figures sitting at a table nearby, and I could have sworn that it was Teddy Roosevelt, our former president. Former late president, I might add. And there, next to him, was his wife, Edith. Now, I was kind of curious about this, so I went over there to introduce myself. It's always great to shake hands with the president, after all. I had some questions for him. I wanted to know how he was related to Franklin D. Roosevelt, also a former president. I wanted to know why he was having dinner here in the Crescent Lake Lodge. I wanted to know actually what his wife's name. I didn't know his wife's name was Edith. So I was wondering about that. I learned about the founding of the National Park System. Teddy Roosevelt played a significant role in preserving a lot of our federal lands. I learned about his Forest Service director, the first one, named Gifford Pinchot. I learned about John Muir, who was also poking around these woods and talking to President Roosevelt and Mr. Pinchot as well. In fact, I heard about all kinds of things from these individuals. They wouldn't actually let me leave their table, even though I was kind of looking over at Mom and Dad and thinking, boy, my dinner is about to arrive, I gotta wrap this up. But how do you excuse yourself from a table with a former president sitting there? Well, some other guests of the hotel came and introduced themselves, and I took that upon myself to then thank them and leave. Well, my time at Crescent Lake would not have been complete without an early morning trip onto the lake in a rowboat. I got up early before Mom and Dad had gotten up, and I rented the rowboat from the lodge, and I went out to look at what I could, to listen to the birds, and to pretty much be the only person on that whole lake. And listen how quiet it was. After my rowing, we had breakfast, we got back into the car, went back to Port Angeles, got another ferry, and this time we're headed to Victoria, British Columbia. Now there's some sights to see in Victoria. Like any Canadian city, it's got a European feel to it. Just out of town from Victoria is a place called Butchart Gardens. It is an outdoor arboretum with many plantings of flowers, as you can see. We spent the greater part of an evening there. And the following day, Mom and Dad and I went on a bicycle ride around Victoria, or just out of town anyway. Victoria has wonderful bike paths, mostly paved. And Mom and Dad and I are all cyclists. Mom and Dad, they cycle where they live, and I cycle where I live, so it was no match for us. Right before it was time to catch the ferry back to Seattle, we stopped by the Parliament of British Columbia there in Victoria. Here's the Parliament building in the day and at night, and then we got a tour, and here's the inside of the Parliament, one of my favorite pictures. Well, all good things must come to an end, and that's true of my vacation and true of this video. Thanks for watching.